Well, hey folks, Real On Super John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. It's my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dontaku Night 1 event. You had the Road to Dontaku, then the great Hino Kuni show that they had that had some pretty good matches, including a blowaway main event between Naito and Suzuki for the IWGP Intercontinental title. This one was about the 5th anniversary of Bullet Club. Bullet Club explodes. Is Bullet Club going to actually be fine? Is Bullet Club Cody's? Is it Omega's? That question that wasn't necessarily answered here. But some various Bullet Club members did have jackets that commemorated the 5th year anniversary of Bullet Club, and that was really, really nice. Don Callis and Kevin Kelly back on commentary. Great. English commentary is always welcome. Japanese commentary is absolutely fantastic, and I get why they mostly go with that. But for those that don't necessarily speak Japanese, it's nice whenever English commentary can be provided. Kevin Kelly is back after his wife apparently had to have surgery. She seems to be okay. He's back doing his job. Him and Callis have great chemistry. So we're off to the races here. 9 matches on the whole card. Yujiro Takahashi and Chase Owens versus Yota, not Yoda, and Shota Umino. Decent enough. Young Lions got some moves in. Umino is hitting some really good drop kicks. I mean, he's really good at that. Yota had a good showing. I'm trying not to say Yoda, I swear to God. Of course, Yujiro and Owens were going to win. They won. Cool. Okay. And then you had another 6-man tag featuring some Young Lions on one end and Yuji Nagata. So it was Narita, Yuji Nagata, and Oka versus Jushin Thunder Liger, the legend himself. Really loving every match I can see with Jushin Thunder Liger, even though I know the end is pretty near, and it should be. The man's been wrestling since I was 3 years old, and I'm 37. He's put enough years in the business. If he wants to leave at some point, I mean, I know he probably loves wrestling, but if he wants to leave like he said he's going to leave in 5 years, and I think he said that a couple years ago, good for him. So, Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, and Taguchi, and shockingly, Taguchi got the pin. Taguchi got the pin over on Narita, which, of course, one of the Young Lions was going to take the pin. I think it was pretty obvious it was Narita. They're trying to build something with Oka where I think he's going to be much more of a heel. He's not showing the respect to the legends. He wants his time. He wants his time to shine. He feels that he should get everything now. I think that's the story they're trying to build, and that's pretty good. And of course, Nagata just beating up on the Young Lions when they get backstage for costing him all these matches. I mean, I kind of don't blame him. But Nagata at this point isn't taking the pins. He may be on the losing team, but he's not taking these pins. And it's a great learning experience for the Young Lions. And then we go to Roppongi 3K, Rocky Romero versus Killer Elite Squad, and Iizuka. This match was really outside very quickly, a brawl, and then Iizuka is trying to bite, I believe, Tiger Hattori, the referee. And then, Iizuka gets rolled up 1, 2, 3 really quickly. And this match is over, I swear, within 5 minutes. This was a really throwaway match that they really didn't need to bother with. I mean, I get wanting to get Roppongi 3K back on the path, or back on the winning path, and it's certainly not like Killer Elite Squad got pinned, and Iizuka certainly isn't going to be taking any heavy any like bad booking. He's not going to be taking any hits with these losses at this point. I mean, he's near 50, and he's just basically essentially a comedy act that bites people. But this was a really throwaway match that they didn't. If they weren't going to even give this a few extra minutes, why even bother? Like, honest to God, they could have not had this match on the show, and it wouldn't have mattered one bit. It was bad just because it wasn't a good use of the guys. The entrances, I swear, were actually longer than the match. In fact, they might have been. If I had actually timed this, the entrances might have been longer than the match. And then you had Hanare Makabe, David Finlay, Juice Robinson, and Michael Elgin. That's all I gotta say about Michael Elgin. Versus Yoshihashi, Yano. Of course, Yano being Yano, pimping the merch and everything. Ishii, Jay White, and Goto. It's a good way to build a whole bunch of feuds and everything. Of course, you got Elgin, Taichi, and Juice Robinson. They're all going for the Never Openweight title. Like I said in my Hino Kuni review, and check that out if you haven't, I talked about how, like, if you're going to make Goto seem important, and the never openweight title seem important, have more challengers go for him. Now, don't have Elgin do it. If they have Elgin win that title, you might as well take that title and throw it in the trash. Because Elgin's got a huge stain on his name. I don't think New Japan necessarily cares, but that title is not going to mean anything if Elgin wins it. Juice Robinson should be the one to win it. So that means Taichi will probably win it, and then Elgin will try to battle Taichi, lose, and then Juice Robinson will beat Taichi for sometime in the fall. Who knows? I mean, I could see that happening. But the best story to me would be Juice Robinson beating Goto, I don't know, maybe at the G1 special that they're going to have in July, which, yes, I plan to be watching. As long as it's on a day, not on a day where I close at work, I should be able to watch it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to it, even though San Francisco would be an easy flight for me. Can't afford it. Anyway, so, decent enough 10-man tag. Anytime you get these matches, like, you're going to get some spots and some cool spots. And Henare really is a star in the making. I think he's going to do very well. You got Makabe. He's great. Everybody in this match, really, besides Elgin, is good to great. Jay White's improving. Got the whole thing with they had a little bit of a tease with Jay White and Henare feud, possibly. I'm for that. Henare wouldn't win, obviously, unless they wanted to pull another shock win this year. But Henare versus Jay White could be fun. Now, I don't know if that's G1 special type feud, and that's the kind of match you want to put on there. But Jay White could get a good match out of him, and Henare has certainly improved and has certainly come back from that Achilles injury that he had. I thought it was an ACL injury. It was actually an Achilles injury, and I like to apologize for messing that up. Good enough match, though. Good enough 10-man. And then we go to a 6-man tag. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bad Luck Fale, the never openweight 6-man tag team champions versus the Young Bucks. Whatever. I mean, I'm just not a fan of them calling their spots loudly and doing all the super kicks. But they got a huge fan base, huge merch money. Good for them. They're marketing themselves right. May not care for the Young Bucks, but they marketed themselves right. Good for them. So Young Bucks, Marty Scurll, like I said, never openweight 6-man tag titles. Good pace. I still don't like all the super kicks. Super kick thing got ridiculous, but Scurll and the Bucks obviously have some very good chemistry. It was a very, very sudden title change, though. It looked like, the Tongans were going to get the victory. They didn't. Looked like they were going to get victory again. They didn't. And then, more bang for your buck as they just hit a bunch of high spots and stuff like that. And then 1, 2, 3, Tonga Loa took the pin, which, I mean, I'm not against that happening. The Bucks are 2-time never openweight tag champions. They won them with Kenny Omega before. This does give Scurll something to do besides just be cannon fodder for the whole Cody thing, Cody Omega deal. I don't know if I necessarily agree with taking the titles off of, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bad Luck Fale, but I guess if maybe this is a way to build, and have another 6-man crew take the titles from the Bucks and Scurll, I'm all for it. Because see, my problem is, and I'll get to this right after the next match, is they kind of just negated this whole damn thing with the next match. Not a bad match. Title change I don't necessarily know if I agree with. I'm not opposed to it if it leads to some good stories. They weren't really doing much with the Tongans as the champions. So if this adds a little bit of spice to it, okay, I'm all for it. I think they have a few too many titles in New Japan. That's just my personal opinion. They do have a big roster in New Japan. But anyway, LIJ, Hiromu, Bushi, Sonata, Evil, and Naito versus Suzuki-gun, which is Minoru Suzuki, who seemingly is fine after his match with Naito. I'm very happy to hear that and see that because it looked like his nose got busted open. It looked like he might have been, looked like he might have been hurt. So I'm glad to see that he's okay. But Suzuki, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, and of course Taka Michinoku introducing Zack Sabre Jr., El Desperado and Kanemaru, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. It was a basic 10-man tag. It was a basic 10-man tag. Naito did not have the IC title with him. Feels it's beneath him. I think this is going to lead to a story. I think this is what I think. I think personally that Jericho is going to show up tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow it would be tomorrow. So and I will be watching that show, by the way. But I think Jericho's going to show up tomorrow, and I think they're going to lead into a whole thing where it's going to be Jericho versus Naito at the Dominion show. I want to say that's June 9th. And I want to clarify right now, I will watch as many of the Best of Super Juniors shows that I can. I will unfortunately not be able to watch the finals live as I will be working that day. That's unfortunate, but that's all right. People will still be able to enjoy it. Anyway, he did not have the WGP Intercontinental title with him. It was outside immediately. I mean, Suzuki just throwing guardrails, throwing everything, swinging fans at Naito. He wasn't doing that. I wouldn't have put it past him, though, because that's just how angry he is. And I don't blame him. Naito beat him for the Intercontinental title after Suzuki had earned it by destroying Tanahashi's knee and had some pretty damn good matches up to that point. Like, up to the point of losing in that, 3-month reign that he had. So, and it was good storytelling. Don't get me wrong, Suzuki being mad, Naito just not wanting to give in. Naito did get punished. And there were some good action, of course, from Hiromu doing some great moves, Bushi doing some great moves. Everybody just still having some great way to tie in their stories. And then Evil Pin Sonata with Everything is Evil. And then the Bucks show up and challenge Evil and Sonata for the tag titles. You just won the Never Open Weight tag titles. Why are you challenging for these titles? It would have made more sense if Skrull had taken the pin in the Never Open Weight 6-man tag match. And then the Bucks had said, okay, well, we couldn't win that, but we're going to challenge you. Just to me, this means unless they drop the titles either back to the Tongans or to somebody really, really quickly, I don't know. I mean, I think it kind of just throws the Never Open Weight 6-man tag titles under the bus, which to be fair, I kind of threw under the bus because they haven't been used all that well. And I can't really remember, too many matches where they were used in the best way. My thing is maybe you should get rid of them and then just have, the junior and the tag titles. But there's some rich history, I'm sure, that my brain's just not processing now on 24 hours of sleep, 24 hours of no sleep. But the Bucks challenging Evil and Sonata, I'm for it. It will be a very good match. It will be. It just kind of devalues the whole them winning the titles with Skrull, Murray Skrull just a little bit before. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But then we go to Kushida and Tanahashi versus Will Ospreay and Okada. And oh boy, this was good. This was a really good match. Hyping the 2 matches that are going to be on the show tomorrow. And that's really going to be a great show. I am going to be here for this. I'm going to be maybe not awake, but I'll be here for this. I'm off on Friday, so I can just sleep in if I want. I'm worried about Will Ospreay with his neck issues. And I know it's wrestling's performance. Maybe he's selling, but apparently he really does have neck issues. That's the case. I don't want to see him end up in a wheelchair. I'm getting Dynamite Kid flashbacks here. Maybe not, definitely not with Attitude, but just from what I studied up about Dynamite Kid and the early stuff I saw of him. I'm not going to say the Ospreay's going to get roided up like Dynamite did, but I don't want Ospreay to end up in a wheelchair at such an early age. Or in general, but it's just, I worry that his career is going to get cut short because of all the bumps and all the stuff he's taking. But still, he did some great moves. Kushida did some great moves. Kushida was like the MVP of this freaking match. He was just bouncing around all over the place, had some great moves. When Tanahashi kept getting knocked down, Tanahashi kind of wasn't much of a factor here. Him and Okada brawled a bit, but he wasn't as much of a factor in it. He did hit a nice rolling senton. It did build to the matches tomorrow, which I just think these matches will almost be better than the ones that close this show. Great when Ospreay did a dive, great armbar counter by Kushida. Off the top, just great, just smooth transition, perfectly done. Of course, Rainmaker to Kushida, And Kushida took the pin. Kushida was the only one that could take the pin here. You weren't going to have Okada take the pin. You weren't going to have, Tanahashi take the pin. You weren't going to have Ospreay take the pin. Had to be Kushida. That's not knocking. Kushida should have taken the pin. Anyway, folks, I will be right back. Anyway, folks, thank you very much. I had to take a little short break. So this was a very good tag match. Very enjoyable. Really did build nice to the 2 matches tomorrow. So it's going to be fun. And then the co-main event. Kota Ibushi versus Cody. And Cody Rhodes. I'm going to call him Cody Rhodes in this review. What's WWE going to do? They're going to do nothing. I'm not using footage anyway, so what could they do? And this isn't their company. He's Cody fucking Rhodes. Let him use the goddamn name. That's something that's still gonna irk me. But anyway, Cody is done great. He's such a fantastic heel. I don't know what coat he was fucking wearing. It was fucking ridiculous. It was odd. It was just bizarre. It was almost like Captain Nemo type, or Battlestar Galactica or something. It was a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 12, and I'm looking at my notes, forgive me, because I wrote down, because quite a bit of stuff happened in this match. At one point, Cody kind of kisses Ibushi. Weird. I mean, whatever. I don't care. It's just weird, but it told a good thing for the story here. It was just, I guess, very odd, because it's like, Kota really looked like, storyline, but I'm just, they're all professionals. I mean, I guess in the context of what I'm talking about, but it's just very odd that that you do this. But it is building the whole thing with Cody wanting to drive a wedge between Ibushi and Omega. He was selling his neck. Apparently, Cody did have a neck scare with his neck recently, like in the past few weeks. He seems good to go, and that's great. It was a good pace. They cut a very good pace. Cody doing some groundwork. Kota seeming a little more focused at times, but also seeming a little aloof. I mean, I don't know. Kota's his own man. I mean, it's really hard to describe Kota Ibushi. At one point, they start slapping each other, and I called it the handsome slap battle, because I believe at Wrestle Kingdom 12, the voiceover guy called it the handsome battle between Kota and Cody. Or Cody Ibushi, as I decided to call them, and it was a good moment. They did have a really, really cool table spot where those tables don't break really. But they had a table spot and Kota did a stomp. Well, nothing happened, so he got up and stomped again. Cody's back just got cut, and I mean cut bad. Like, it got cut pretty damn bad on that table. Those tables aren't meant to break. I mean, I think they're meant to break a bit, but they're not meant to break much. It's pretty much, okay, you want to do these table spots, guys, you're going to earn them. Yeah, Cody's back did bleed badly. There was a great dive into the crowd. Cody's like over the barricade. So Kota's having to dive a good 10 feet. 10 feet to get him. And he did. Because Kota does not play by human rules, and I swear to God, Kota isn't human. And I'm not knocking him. I just swear to God, he's not human. But Cody hit, I believe he calls it Din's Fire. I think that's what Kevin Kelly said it was. It was a variation of the Vertebreaker. Cody gets the win. I'm happy that Cody got the win, because it builds Ibushi won at Wrestle Kingdom 12. Cody wins here. You can build up to a rematch, like the rubber match in June, July, something like that. July probably would be my guess. But you do something like that. That's the way you build things. And then Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. And as Kenny Omega gets in the ring, Cody suddenly appears out of nowhere and starts beating up Omega before the bell rings to give his guy, Hangman Page, an advantage. And by the way, so Cody versus Ibushi was a good match. It was better than the Wrestle Kingdom 12 match. I don't know if the chemistry between them is as electric as the announcers want it to be, or as the company wants it to be, but they did cut a really good pace, and it is some good storytelling. It is some very good storytelling. Anyway, so after Cody attacks Kenny Omega, okay, boom, 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 boom. Page is taking the advantage. Rite of passage onto a table, and I mean, Omega's head is like bleeding like up here. I mean, like top of his head. Pretty vicious. I mean, I don't know if he just cut his head on the table or if it was a blade job the hard way. I don't know. But if it was on the table, I mean, it's like Omega might have been knocked silly. I mean, he might have been actually, the way he was talking afterwards, I think he was knocked silly. I mean, hopefully he's all right, because that was a pretty vicious spot. It did pick up with some big moves. Huge top rope neck breaker by Page. Very, very good. Hangman Page is improving with each match that he's getting a chance to shine in. And I mean, I'm not just talking tag matches. I thought his match with Jay White, A Strong Style Evolved, and I did a review of that, by the way. Check it out. I thought that was a good match. I can see why some people maybe didn't, but I liked the fact that it was these two young guns that were given a chance to go on the big stage and have a good match. Maybe not the best match in the world, certainly not on my matches of the year list, but I think some people were a little too down on it. Maybe that was because they wanted to see Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks, and I don't blame them. But anyway, so the match has some, good pace going on. Page and Omega are trading some stuff back and forth. And then the V-trigger spam. I think about 10 V-triggers. 10. Or close to it. I mean, it was probably closer to 8, but still, a lot of them. And then, of course, he hits a One Wing Angel. 1, 2, 3. Omega wins. So, okay, the Golden Lovers don't both win. But even with Cody trying to get under Omega's skin still, he can't stand the fact that Omega and Ibushi have this special bond. Even though Cody's got his wife and has got all this money and all this popularity and stuff like that, and he just can't stand that Omega is more popular than him. He just can't stand it. He can't stand that Omega and Ibushi have this relationship. And that's some good storytelling right there. Omega does a promo, talks to the people in Japanese. Please come back tomorrow, essentially, I believe, according to the translator that they had there. Thank you for letting me wrestle in front of you. Some good stuff. And Omega does its usual Moa, good night, and bang. Goodbye, Moa, night, and bang, or something like that. I mean, it's the way he does it. Again, sorry, a little tired. But this was a good show. And it's not because I'm tired. I'll say a B. It built well to the show, especially night 2. The problem is to get there, it was a little bit messy, especially like the first 3 matches. And I got nothing against Liger. I'm just saying they were 3 especially that third match. That dragged it down a bit. But you had 2 10-man tags. That's a lot of people. It was a bit bloated. I get why they did. It was good storytelling. But anyway, that's what I gotta say. So B. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. But the 2 main events really did deliver. And so did that tag match with Kushida, Tanahashi, Ospreay, and Okada. Anyway, that's what I gotta say. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link in the description. Been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon, hopefully with more sleep. Not likely.